guys, welcome back to another speed build video. In this build video, we are busy building a cemetery, crypt, and catacomb. So I did this build quite a long time ago, and I tried to look up the difference between a crypt and catacombs, and apparently a crypt is a stone chamber beneath the floor of a church or other building. It typically contains coffins or other religious relics. And a catacomb is an underground cemetery that was constructed by the ancient Romans. So that's just something I got off Google. If the information is wrong, then please correct me down below in the comments, because this is just something I looked up. It was like the first results that came on Google, and I was told that one is man-made and the other one is more naturally forming, but I really don't know. I don't remember which one was which. And I did do this build a really long time ago, so all of the information I did write down, I don't have it anymore. Like, I did this probably 4 months ago, but then exams came over and I just had to focus on that, so I'm releasing this super late. As of now, I do have more expansion packs. So looking back on this build, I think it would be really cool to add some more things that came with Jungle Adventure, because the Jungle Adventure game pack came with these skeletons, which I think would look really cool. Instead of the suits of armor or anything, but at the same time I do really like this build. Over here we are trying to do kind of like a wall type of thing, and I use the move objects cheat. I believe the object that I used came with cats and dogs, which is just a simple crate, and we used a plaque that came to get to work, where I would imagine it kind of has their names on it. These are just simple passageways. Some have coffins, and by coffins I basically mean an end table, because I didn't have any type of coffin available to me, and some have like kind of these urns. So that was a lot of fun to make. This build kind of has sections, and by that I mean that you'll get kind of like a normal type of area where any kind of family could have been buried there or whatnot, and if you go a little bit down below, there's a section where I would imagine a really rich family would kind of book and say, okay, my entire family's gonna live here. And I believe we'll go back to it and kind of add a few portraits. There is a portrait of like the captain and his dog, because he was so rich that he even saved a spot for his beloved pet. That's something that I thought was kind of cool. This build isn't meant to offend anyone. It was just kind of like a spooky build that I enjoyed building a lot. I wanted to do some type of cemetery, but at the same time I wanted there to be a little bit more to it, so I decided to do this underground part as well, and I think it turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with everything that is going on. Over here we are adding in the different portraits, which you can see I'm just kind of lining them up to the appropriate person, and a lot of them I tried to look for fairly old-fashioned portraits, just so it kind of gives the impression that maybe these people were like here a long time ago and they've been buried a long time ago. So there are about 2 underground floors that have the tunnels and everything, and then on the surface you'll get kind of a normal looking cemetery. I wanted to have these little buildings. One of the buildings has the stairs that go downstairs, and I didn't really know how to make it look on the exterior. I think it turned out okay, but there's probably a lot better ways to make it look the way it did. I think out of the entire build, that's something that I probably wasn't too happy with, but I did the best that I could think of at the moment. And over here we are building a small little wall of remembrance, and I remember when I was doing this, I think the main part of inspiration for this build was from my grandparents, who recently passed away, and by recently I mean about like last year. So we had to go to like a cemetery. We were going down memory lane, and then I was just kind of looking around and I was like, okay, you know, this is something that I'm not really used to. This is an experience that I'm not really used to, and I was just kind of looking around. Some of the things were really beautiful over there, but one thing that I did notice was a lot of the graves were kind of like overgrown and everything. And I remember, because we were even going down our family line, like a lot of our family is in this one graveyard. So my sister and I were walking and she's like, hey, this is our great-great-grandmother, Auntie Mabel. I don't remember all of their names, but I just remember kind of walking past and be like, oh, hi. You know, it felt really weird. But I decided in this build to put in a wall of remembrance and also have like some bigger graves, some smaller graves. And one thing that I did really enjoy doing with the move objects cheat was that I tried to put this kind of plant over one of the tombstones, so it kind of looked like ivy was growing over it. That was something that I actually saw when I went to the graveyard, and my sister was like, oh, you know, that's very pretty. So I tried to recreate that. Some of the graves have like little sculptures and everything. Some are just a bit more simple. You get a lot of different varieties, which is something that I did notice and something I tried to recreate. I'm pretty sure the layout of this will change eventually. I was just kind of like going through different things, seeing what I liked, but the layout's going to change completely. The wall's going to move, like you can see over there. We're going to have like a few more smaller graves. There is a fishing hole, because I believe it's in The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. Actually, not The Sims 2. I know in The Sims 3, they would always have like a little fishing hole when you would go to the graveyards in World, and that's where you would catch like the dead fish. Not the dead fish, the death fish. Or it was something like that. There's a really rare fish that you can catch that will like help you out later, and there's not really anything like that in The Sims 4. So I was like, hey, let's throw in some Easter eggs back to The Sims 3, the old days, and let's put in a fishing hole in this build, which is what I did. I'm doing some simple terrain painting, and I did this build, like I said, quite a while ago. So when I did this build, I didn't have the new terrain tools, so I couldn't really manipulate the terrain or anything like that, which is why everything is very flat. There's not much going on. If I were to redo this build, I would add in like a few more things. For this build, I tried to get quite a few pictures offline, and one of the pictures that I did see kind of had these skeletons that were formed in the wall. So I used an object from Get to Work. I think it comes in the medical career, where you can kind of have like a skeleton over there, and I merged it into the wall to maybe give the impression that maybe this was like a very dark time and the people kind of mushed human bones into the walls so that it would make it like a stronger structure or something. I don't know. I don't watch many movies, but I wanted to just to seem like very creepy. Like, why would you have bones sticking out of the walls? Or maybe they like mushed some of the skeletons into the walls, and over time the walls just kind of started to erode, so some of the skeletons are showing. This build is meant to be a little bit creepy, especially in the catacomb parts. I'm pretty sure this part is called the catacombs, but I did have a lot of fun doing it because there was a lot of creativity that could go into this, a lot of move objects, which I always love a good move objects. And obviously this build could be improved if you had like different stuff packs and everything, but I don't have a lot of money, so I don't mess with stuff packs. And I think it turned out pretty okay, like considering that I didn't even have the vampire game pack, and the vampire game pack has like a lot of creepy plants, a lot of dead bushes, a lot of, I think they came with new tombstones as decorations. They came with coffins, which really would have came in handy instead of using the chest object that is for end tables. You know, if you had more packs, this would be a lot better. But I used what I had, and that was something that I'm very proud of, that I didn't need to have a wide variety of packs to be able to make this build work. And overall, I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I think it really portrayed with what I was going for, and that is something that I always like my builds to do. If you guys did like this video, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Comment down below for which videos you'd like to see me do next, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. I will also have all of my social media linked down below, as well as my Origin ID if you do want to download this off of the gallery. Hopefully tomorrow there should be another Sims video out, so that's pretty exciting. I am trying to release a video every day until the year ends, which should be in about 12 days. So this is going to be a lot of fun. This is the first video that I just kind of came back to, and like you heard in the voiceover, I actually did the video a long time ago, and now I'm only doing the voiceover, and I did the voiceover like 2 weeks ago, and now I'm finishing the voiceover. So yeah, subscribe for more content just like this. Very professional of me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.